Yo, what's up? This is Noble. Welcome to another episode of Being Noble podcast. Today's a good one. It's so good. I'm gonna cut this little happy chipper music off. Not because I'm not happy, but just because I don't want to set. I want to set the tone by starting with the title. It requires men. Women can't do it. It requires men. Women cannot do it. It requires men. Women can't do it. What the heck am I talking about? Glad you asked. Glad you asked. So, as you know, if you don't know, I love sharing stories. I love, my mom was a therapist. I'm constantly in my head about relationships and love and character and like the deeper things of life. I'm an Aquarian, so I'm like low key the philosopher. I'm always thinking, right? And for whatever reason, recently, I was thinking about this story from my past. I see so much vitriol and people attempting to start healthy conversations about love and relationships. It's a huge topic. It's always going to be there. It's like what else matters in life? Money, love, family, like, and family is love. Right? So, there's a story in my life that I think is really unique, as an example of love, and we don't often see men really sharing how intentional sometimes we can be. We just don't share our stories enough. So I'm not acting like I'm oh so unique because I'm the lead in this character, the lead in this story. But I am saying I think we need to share more and really try to like dig into what this thing called love is. It's not just a feeling or just a word or just a commitment. It's an energy and there's an action to it. There's a boldness about love. So here's a story. Here's a story. I put it up on Facebook. I'm only reading this. I only decided to do this because like a month ago, I was like, man, if I put up a post and get a certain amount of responses really fast, I have to do a podcast on it. I gotta go live. I gotta talk about it, right? Because that means somebody found enough substance in it. And it's always better with video anyway. So okay, cool. Right. So here we go. Here's the story. Here's the story. I said it requires men, women can't do it. Can't do what? I said, you'll love this story. I'm reading it on Facebook, just like I'm right. But I'll elaborate. I said years ago, one of my exes was graduating from grad school. Our relationship was also slowly coming to a commencement of sorts too. We were both in grad school. She's an amazing woman. We were friends first. We just, I don't know, it's like sometimes you need support to get through school. You do. Sometimes that turns out to be a relationship. You know, things happen as they happen. So we really were like each other's kind of accountability and, helping each other to kind of, get through school. And there was love and there was a relationship there. But we both knew deep, deep, deep down that we weren't the best for each other, weren't the best. Right. And let me say this. I have to say this too. Well, actually, I'll build it in. I'll build it in. So, let's see. I said we loved each other and we were friends, but we also knew that we weren't the best for each other, which is what I just said. I said, but I know she had issues with her father. Now, as you watch the rest of this video, I need you emotionally to just take hold because I'm gonna say some things and just being honest and sincere that might, depending on your past, depending on who you are, they might trigger something. They may make you want to like feel a certain way. Don't try not to feel right now in this moment. Just listen to the story. The ending is beautiful. Trust me. This has a super. It has a beautiful ending, right? So just work with it. Trust me. So I said, but I know she had issues with her father. And I said they did a lot of damage to our relationship. Those issues, damage to our relationship. I said one time, I'll never forget this. I literally legit will never forget this. I said I assertively told her to move your hand off the stove. I was at her apartment. She was cooking something. She was cooking some breakfast or something, and she had like a little, like the little electric stoves. I had turned it on. She didn't know it was on, and her hand was like right there. And I was like, "Yo, move your hand." And I just said it real quick and like kind of, assertively, like, "Well, move your hand." You know what I'm saying? Because she was about to get burned, but she didn't know she was about to get burned. And she was like, "Thanks, Dad." And I was like, "Warning." like in the back of my mind, it was like, flag. Not a green flag. I won't call it red. At least damn sure yellow. Something I need to investigate as a man. Right? I need to learn more about why me trying to protect you in that moment turned into a sarcastic Thank you, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Dad, ain't your daddy? Oh, right. So anyway, okay. So, um, I said I told her to move her hand because she didn't know the stove was on. I said she replied back, thanks, Dad. I knew. I said, listen, I'm so serious when I say this. I said I knew I'd be paying for his crimes in subtle moments like this forever until she healed, or the next dude would, and the next dude would. There's there's some theory. My mom was a therapist, probably about, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago. We really, as like a medical community, a country, we thought that attachment only happened with babies to their mom and dad in a very infantile first couple years of life, right? And studies and growth and whatever, and it makes so rational sense. It's like, of course there's a adult attachment, right? But the things you didn't get early on, like your parents shape how you look at relationships, like how you understand love based on how they gave you love or didn't. That's like your first wound, your first. It structures you. It literally structures you. So why am I having this conversation? Because I'm always having these conversations. And recently I found some statistics from the Pew Research, longitudinal studies, which means they do these studies over a long period of time. They kind of update it, right, to track these long-term metrics like inflation and all that type of stuff, but things related to family and race and relationships, all this stuff, right? So this blew me away, and this is scary to me too, as a man, as a black man in this country. This is it's scary. It's disturbing. It should concern you. It concerns me. What I found was that when it comes to Asians, white Americans, black folks, and Hispanics, out of the four races, um, African Americans are more likely to be unpartnered, which doesn't mean you're not likely to be married, just alone, single, unpartnered, from 18 to 55. There's a 59, just say 60%, like 60% of us, 18 to 55, are not partnered. If you value family relationships, you know where I'm going, you know where I'm going. The crazy part is, okay, we at 59. Where's everybody else at? Asians, only 29, which means 70% together with somebody doing this life thing, somebody that loves them, supports them emotionally, physically, all that, right? 70%. So that was 29%, 59 for us, 29 for Asians. It was 33% for white people. It was 38 for Hispanics. So that's 38, 33, and 29, all right there in like a 10-point range. And then African Americans, black folks jump out to 59%. And I said, "Oh, like this is just basic something saying something's wrong with how we meet, fall in love, partner, and decide to stay together because we're not deciding to stay together. And family is all we got. I don't know what else we have other than family. So that's context, right? For kind of why I'm here today. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just sharing this story a little bit more. So let me go up a little bit. Let me go up a little bit, just a little second. I'm gonna add some more stats. Y'all know me if you know me. I'm full of stats. I read everything. So let's see. I said, or the next dude would. Like if she didn't heal, if some of these things didn't heal, and once again, I'm not assuming every black woman wants to be in a relationship. I know some of y'all don't. You go through periods of singleness, all that. Cool, I get it. But we were created for connection. I don't care what you think. I don't care what your religion is, your faith background. I don't really care. We were created for connection. There's nothing more powerful than love. It's why a baby will literally die if that baby is not held. There's a lot of us dying as adults because we're not getting the type of love and attachment to somebody who actually loves us or who we at least safely will allow to love us, right? I'm gonna keep going. So I said, but the relationship was over. I was moving on. She was moving on too. What could I do? I was like, relationship is over. I can't really, right? And when I say what can I do, what I mean is, as a man, I'm like, dang, this is my woman, yeah. But even before all of that, this was my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, this is my friend. I care about her. And so I was like, dang, like I gotta do something. And it's like, what can I do? Only thing I could do is talk to her daddy. No, I ain't about to talk to her father. And then I was like, no, I am. I'm that bold. I am. That's me. Like I want the tough stuff in life. I do. I like the tough things. I do. So I'm a day trader. It's tough. I like tough things. I like the challenge of it because the reward for the challenging things is huge. The payoff is huge. Payoff is huge. All right. So I said I was moving on. She was too. What could I do? I said I do what real men do that most don't. I said he was coming to town for graduation, which he was. All the parents were coming, everybody was coming to town for graduation. And I said, I asked, think about this. I gotta give y'all these little pieces. I asked her first. I want to go talk to your dad. About what? About some of the things that me and you have talked about with some of the things that I know that you know deep down are causing a rift between me and you because you view anything, just right. Right. And she was like, cool. She was like, yeah, like if you want to, yeah. All right. So she said yes. I said, I'm great with people who have nerves of steel. I hit him up and asked him, could I come talk to him? I asked him, a grown man. I asked him. He knew me. Right? I'm the his daughter, who he's not super close to, daughter's boyfriend. Okay, cool. Why is he reaching out to ask me? What does he want to talk about? I had to drive like 30 minutes to get there. So I was a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. It was a great idea at first, and then once I started driving, I said, "Man, you don't really know this dude. He might be crazy." Now he wasn't that big, so if we had a problem, we wasn't gonna have no problem. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no punk. Nah, I grew up in Gary, Indiana. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed at what I could do if I needed to. Um, don't let this intellectual stuff fool you. So I'm thinking, I'm like, dang, this dude really might not like this. May not go how I think it's gonna go. This may not be like a hallmark moment at all. But forget it. I'm still gonna go. It needs to be said. I need to figure out how to say it. Because it doesn't make sense to me that so many of us have issues with our parents and we just allow that broken relationship to stay broken forever. It's like you alive. Fix it. Do the hard work. Fix it. Try, engage, establish something. And if they don't, whoever's on the wrong, you only get one parent. You only get, you only get one father. You only get one mother. That's design. That's God designed it that way. There's nobody who can replace your father, regardless of what you think about him. There's nobody who can replace your mother, regardless of what you think. Regardless of what you think. That's why I'm not reading the comments yet. Because right now in this moment, I'm just sharing. I'm just educating. I know what I'm on because I know the result. I know what happened. And you about to know what happened too. I am going to come to the comments. So for people who commented, thanks for being here. This is interactive. I'm going to read the comments in a minute. I'm going to read some of the comments from the actual post too. So what else I say? I said, so I'm getting there. I'm nervous a bit, which I was. I said, I gently, this is so key. Y'all. I said, I gently. And you got to realize what gentle means. When you're gentle with somebody, it means I'm legit stronger than you. I can strong arm you if I want to. Right? Like when you're gentle with somebody, it means you have more power. In this case, let's just think of it as physical. Right? You have more physical strength than them. You pull it back. Right? You're pulling it back. Gentle is literally it's evidence of discipline because you're holding back strength. Right? So anyway, I said I gently, because I could have came at him hard and aggressive, and I didn't. It's not the right approach, which is why I first asked him, which is something I've learned from some therapy related type stuff that I've learned from my mom. Sometimes you have to ask people, can you have the conversation? Because if they have any idea where it's going, it gives them time to prepare their heart for the conversation. Too many of us just want to talk whenever the emotion just explodes out of us and you ready to handle it or talk. Sometimes you need to be patient and say, hey, I need to talk to you. Let me know when's a good time, whenever you're ready. It lets them prepare. It does. I asked permission to come talk to him. Right? That's honoring that. So I said, I gently, lovingly, kindly, and directly. You look up the definition of like masculine energy versus feminine energy. The masculine is direct. Some ones don't like people being direct with us. I don't always like it. It's tough when people are direct with you and tell you about yourself. It's not easy. We have these self images that we think we're this, and when people check you and say, "Bro, I love you, but," and they give you that real, how you react says everything about who you are. Right? So I said I gently, lovingly, kindly, and directly told him a grown man twice my age, twice my senior, that you are the reason. You're the reason that your daughter will probably never have a really healthy relationship with a man. And it's because she doesn't have a healthy relationship with you. I'll never forget saying that, which is why I got it in quotes, because that's what I said. I kind of was thinking about it before I got there, and I was like, I know I'm a stumble. I ain't gonna get all of this out perfectly, but I gotta have one key phrase that just hits, that goes there. I can't mince words. I gotta say it. I can't even say it just to see what was gonna happen. I think they could have repaired it. Y'all ain't dead. He's not dead. She's not dead. Y'all got this gap. Close the gap. That's my mentality. Son of a therapist. Son of a therapist. Son of a therapist. So he was, and I was kind of like, hey, thanks for, letting me come. I stumbled into it slow, nervous, like Kanye when he was saying the thing about George Bush. You see how nervous he was? It was like nervous, but I knew there was purpose there, right? In the same time. So, I was saying it, going around the bush and making, and then I finally I was like, and I had said enough. And he knew where we were. He knew what I was saying. And then I just had to say it. I said, man, I love your daughter, but she's not gonna be able to have a healthy relationship with any man. She's gonna struggle even if she gets married. It's gonna be tough loving her because you haven't loved her. It's powerful. Powerful. I said he listened quietly, intently. He stared at me. I said I took that as a sign. Wait, I'm trying to pull it up. I said I took that as a sign to say more. I did. I said I did. Dang, where is it? Oh, I said I gave him some examples. I told him how amazing she was, things that he doesn't know about his daughter because I was closer. You know, so I told him that she probably, yeah, getting the degree was huge for her, but even more importantly than that degree was you, you, you. He was real quiet. He just listened, man. I was like, this Negro about to knock me out. He about to thank me, or he about to ask me to leave. He was too quiet. I was like low key, like, man, what is he thinking? He was just like literally just looking at me, just like, you know what I'm saying? Just, he was bobbing his head. I was getting some active learning, you know what I'm saying? Symbols kicking off, but I didn't know what was about to happen, right? So uh he sat there quiet and still. He finally started talking. He opened up. He shared some things. I won't say those things publicly. You know, he talked about he talked about his love for his daughter. You know, um he tried to almost in some way explain why he hadn't been there. I felt his heart. I was like, man, like this, and I wonder, I really do, y'all. I'm so serious. I wonder how many men right now are not close to their children for whatever reason. I ain't here to blame it. It ain't about blaming nobody, mom, dad. Like, I don't want the vitriol. This ain't the vitriol. This ain't the debate type of post. I don't I don't know the multitude of reasons, but I just wonder how many men want to make it right, want to connect, don't know how to approach, haven't been able to approach, have bear just because it felt like he was ready and had been wanting to almost go there. So, um, I said he finally started talking. He opened up. He shared some things, and I simply kind of at the end, I was just like, all I'm really saying, and he thanked me for coming. It was great, a little kumbaya. Gave me a hug. He's like, man, that was. He was like, that was so big of you, you know. And it was like it legit was like, thank you for like, damn. It was like, thank you for loving her enough to like be man enough to talk to me, because that shit mattered. And I knew from that conversation he was going to do something different, which is why I said it requires men. Women can't do it. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about men raising men, chiseling men, sharpening each other, supporting each other, loving each other, pushing each other, encouraging, inspiring, building, connecting, every word I could think of. I'm trying to think of every I'm trying to think of every word I could think of right now. Like that's what it requires if we're serious about changing the direction of Black people right now, because the statistics are not looking good on every level. When we look at who's most likely to be single and unwed, it's Black women, higher than everybody. When we look at if we could really dig into why men get so sensitive, Black brothers get so sensitive when we start talking about money, it's because so many of us don't have like so many of us really aren't equipped fully to be the men we want to be. We want to pay for this, we want to take that, we want to provide, we want to all of this back and forth 50-50 talk about like who pays for the date, like all this vitriol. It only points to like a massive number of people who did not have mother or father to guide them in the right way. And there's gaps and there's things we don't have and insecurities. But instead of dealing with them and talking to ourselves honestly, lovingly, it's just vitriol. I almost hate being on social media. I legit do. And y'all know I love talking and starting these conversations. It's so hard to have a decent civil conversation because we get triggered and we play these power dynamics and we're vengeful. And it only hurts us and the children and the next generation. It's crazy to me, but it's real. It's real. It's real. And let me say this too, because there is there's millions of healthy Black couples. Please don't take this wrong way like I'm saying everybody's so messed up. No. There's so many healthy marriages I know. I'm so blessed to know a lot of them. I got an aunt and uncle been married like 50 some years. They're both of their daughters been married like 30 something, and then I got another auntie who some of her kids been married like 30 years. I got a cousin who I'm real close to. They've been married like 20. I got numbers all around me, right? I surround myself with those couples. Why? Because I'm not married yet. So as a single man, I probably should have a little bit of insight as to what this marriage thing really entails. If I think God has that for me, and I think He does, right? So I know a lot of healthy couples, but here's the problem too with social media. There's not enough of the healthy people talking to the real toxic people. That's the problem. The really healthy couples, they off doing their thing. They like, man, right? They trying to keep the peace. They trying to keep what's flowing. There's like these little couples that put stuff on social media. I'm not saying everybody needs to like start a podcast or something as a couple, but I'm just saying like we don't have enough elders. And when I say elders, I don't mean super old in the church falling asleep. Like I don't mean that. I don't mean Sister Margaret up there falling asleep in the choir. I ain't talking about that. I just mean people who have done what we think we want to do and can, who could just say, yo, you need to check yourself. You need to do this. You need to get rid of this. You need, right? Just people that, right? Community, village. A lot of those people they don't be talking on Facebook. Social media is ran by the people who know the least. The people who know the least talk the loudest. It's crazy. And you got people like me who try to put my little positive into the world, but even I have to take breaks away from this thing. I can say the most positive thing on earth, and somebody is gonna take it the wrong way. And because I'm a man, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Usually, it's a Black woman taking what I've said, twisting it, taking it the wrong way, and then telling me who I am. And then now I'm Kevin Samuels. I'm like, Kevin Samuels, what? Like, I'm Noble Woods. I ain't nothing like him. So. Let me get y'all the end of the story, because the end is beautiful. End is dope. So I said about 3 to 4 years later, I jump in time. About 3 to 4 years later, after her wedding anniversary, she thanked me. Now, she had thanked me after it happened. And it was like, how'd it go? And I was like, I think it went well. We'll see. Because now he has a call to action. Call to action. Just like with an ad. You see an ad? It's this old school model for people in marketing. It's called ADA. You get their attention. You build the interest, right? By talking about the problem they're experiencing. Desire, you tell them you can handle it, and then there's a call to action. This was different, right? I wasn't selling him nothing. But the call to action was, now I've gotten your attention. I've gotten your interest. There's desire here for you to change. Action. There's nothing left to do but do some action. It was out of my hands. I did everything I could do. I tried. That was like one of the biggest moments of my life. It literally was. It really was. And I wonder how many of us, not to big me up, but I wonder how many of us love in that way. Like, how many men would talk to the father of the woman who sometimes disrespects you because she got an issue with him and it really ain't you? That takes some courage. It does. It takes some love too. It takes a boldness. It does. Um, so I said there was love there in a real way. She used to hit, and this was beautiful. This was dope. She used to hit me every Father's Day for like several years in a row. Every Father's Day. Yeah, I just get a text, be like, man, thank you so much for what you did talking to my dad. We're so cool now. We this now, we that now. We break up. They start to build. She meets the right man. They get married, happily still married to this day. Still married to this day. Right. Let me pull it back up. I can't even find the thing again. Where is it? Oh, okay, here we go. There was love everywhere. 3, 4 years. Oh man, this is tough. Have y'all seen this? There's this thing that says like, what does it say? It says, hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men. Weak men make hard times, and it's a cycle. It's a cycle, right? So I was thinking about that because I've debated with people about that before. And I'm not saying blessing your children and spoiling your kids, making it easy for your kids is wrong. But let's be real. Adversity and challenge is what builds men. It is. There's no such, you can't be a man without going through things. You got to go through stuff. You got to risk it. You got to go out in the field, whatever your field is. You got to go out there in that jungle and hunt. You got to kill something. That's part of the journey, right? So anyway, I'm gonna come back. So I said, I think we have a lot of weak men right now. I do. I've been one of them in different areas and points in my life, and I can admit that. I can admit that openly. There's things I didn't know. There's things nobody told me. There's things I didn't get the chance to talk to my dad about that I tried to get from a book or a scripture or something. There's things I didn't know. I wasn't fully equipped. And I'm trying to be and ascertain and hold this thing called manhood. But men don't talk about the journey and how tough this thing is. Because as much as women get, pressure, and I'm foreign to being a woman. I've never been a woman. I don't know. All right, I've never been a woman. Let me say that. I've never been. I have no idea. I have no idea what the experience of being a woman is. I'm too foreign to it. Right? That's what's happening right now too. I'm gonna hate to say this, but a lot of these ideologies around sex and the spectrum and all this stuff, it's designed to like make us feel like we're 100% the same. We're not the same. We're equal. We're all equal in God's eyes, but we are not the same. No, men and women are different. We're different. A man can say certain things to me that a woman never should say to me. Never. And there's things that I, as a man, would never say to a woman out of respect and honor for who she is. Anyway, so I know that was like a quick abrupt out of that, but I said I think we have a lot of weak men right now. It's so apparent. I said it's messing everything up. I said in times with weak men just create overly strong women because women will always compensate to make sure things like women are the glue. They'll make sure, and I'm not saying women aren't the strength. I'm not saying that. Women are amazingly powerful. But when we have a generation or a ideology or a culture that is creating really weak, docile, unafraid to take the challenges of life, men, what are women gonna do? They have to like get stronger. Somebody gotta carry these things. It's like we gotta carry the family. Your side weak. Well, shoot, my arm gonna be buffed because I've been over here holding things up. Right. And I know there's millions of good fathers, right? So once again, y'all take everything I'm saying at face value. Don't like jump into the extreme small percentages of, like don't do that. Don't do that. Not today. I ain't having that today. I said it creates cycles. It creates cycles. I said, and here's what we know. We talk a lot about relationships in the Black folks, from Black community, healing, 20, it's all this self-love, all this stuff. It's a lot of vitriol too, right? So I said the only solution, which means inherently I'm saying this is the problem. I said the only solution to address the massive amount, and maybe massive amount, maybe that's not the right word, but I do know the statistics here. Beginning of the 20th century, 80% of black men were in the home. Now, y'all can, every time I bring this up, a lot of folks go to, oh, well, women didn't have options, and then women just, and it's like, no, there was some women and men who just genuinely loved each other. Like we got to stop trying to make everything positive about older generations be negative because, oh, women just didn't have this and men were just this, right? 80% of fathers were in the home. I'm talking about the fathers in the home. What happened? A lot of things happened. Labor happened. 50, like a high percentage of labor union jobs. I'm from Gary, Indiana. Steel mill. You could use your brawn as a man to make enough money to provide for like 8, 9 kids. We have huge families. You can't do that nowadays. You can't have no 9 kids and not be making some serious bank. I don't even use the word bank. You can't, right? So inflation, things have gone up. They slowly started weeding black men out of the labor unions. Labor got more sophisticated. When men can't work, when men don't feel like they can find work and have the dignity of work, we don't feel like men. We don't. And I'm not saying we're not men. We don't feel that ability to provide. And it does some deep damaging things when we start talking about relationships. We need to start talking about the feminist movement that had an effect. Welfare and these like no man in the house, which literally was like a provision under welfare. If they came and found a dude in your house, you ain't getting no check, right? This stuff is so real. HIV and AIDS in the 80s, that's like I just walked you through like 50s, 60s, 70s. A lot of these things start changing. Sexual revolution, abortion. Here's the crazy part about abortion. Y'all know, like some of the early proponents, people who were like really behind the scenes with a lot of wealth pushing abortion, could not get black women to agree initially. Black women were not in favor of abortion originally. It's documented. Values. The values were different. The values are different now. All abortion did was let men say consequence-free sex. That's all it is. That's all it became. Ain't no consequences to sex. So there's no responsibility. You remove consequences, you remove responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not making this an abortion thing. I do think, because I'm not a woman, I have nothing to say. I don't have a womb. I can have an opinion about it morally true. I let y'all have it. I have nothing to say, respectfully. Right. So even though I could go into a whole monolith around, like, I think what removing the consequence of sex by knowing as a man that I can just pay for, she can have. Some dudes got what you call those? What's the Plan B? Plan B pills stacked up like Skittles. So I think men have become grossly irresponsible. I do. I can't prove it. It's my theory. Whatever. I got a lot to say. I do. So, and then you got what? You got early 80s, you got HIV, then you got, oh my God, Clinton with the what do you call it? 3 strikes and you out. You got mass incarceration. Who did that target? It targeted us. So Noble's worldview is that all of this stuff combined is simply designed to tear apart, destroy, disintegrate the black family. Because you do that, just like we're playing pool, green table is the earth. You knock that black ball off, game is over. Francis Welsen. You got to read Dr. Francis Welsen, one of the most amazing psychiatrists who dug into what racism is and symbolism and phallic symbols. Like, why is a gun shaped like a penis? It's deep stuff, man. Anyway, let me ease on out of that. I said, I think the only real solution to address this massive amount of men and fathers who don't have the emotional connection. I'm not saying you're not there. I know a lot of fathers who are there, but do you have that emotional connection with your child? Right? Emotional connection. That's the connection of all connections. It's not the money. It's not that you call them. It's not you see them. Do they feel you when you're not even around? Do they know they're loved? Right. Anyway, emotional connection and presence in a child's life that they need to establish. The best way to solve that is to have other men engage and confront them with love directly as a man. And I ended it where I started. Why? Why would you say that, Noble? Because it requires men. Women can't do it. Requires men. Women can't do it. Pause for a second. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are, but if I was watching this, I'd give myself a round of applause. I just have fun, man. I do. But this stuff is so serious, yo. I'm trying to make light of it. It's so serious. It's so serious. Oh, it's so serious. One of my professors, when we graduated from grad school, we asked him, we was like, yo, it's the last day of school. Give us some gems. Give us something we can use. You know what he said? You know what this multimillionaire said with a PhD? Great wife, yada. You know what this man said? We asked him, like, give us some life gems. We all about to leave school, go to these cushy six-figure jobs in corporate America. Right. You know what he said? He said, you got your MBA, you can make six figures for the rest of your life. Grow it, invest. Y'all know that stuff. Cool. The next biggest decision for you who are single that will impact everything about your legacy, your life, your health, your mental state, your spirit is who you marry. I was like, oh my goodness. Here we go. It was the most amazing, one of the most singular, amazing conversations I've ever had in my life. I almost remember the entire conversation. That's how good it was. Elder teaching, giving us gems, giving us structure, giving us a model, giving us the real. Right, multimillionaire, done well financially, married, happy, good kids, big $10,000 house. I mean, 10,000 square foot house in Alpharetta. All that success, defined, proven, principled man. So, let's see. I got some comments. James said, "What up, my guy? What's up, my guy?" He said, "You got the New Jack City look." Yeah, I got my Nino Brown on. Yeah, I do. Candace said, "Perhaps we as a people, black folks, are too strong-willed and independent." Um, you know what? I know what you mean. But because of how I think, I would say we're really weak-willed. Because if we were strong-willed, we would have these tough conversations that we don't seem to have the will or emotional discipline or strength or whatever to actually have. These statistics I'm quoting, these would be changing if we had the will to change them. I think we have the desire and not the will. Or maybe we have the desire and not the skill. Or maybe the desire and not the accountability or not the support. Something's missing. If in 100 years none of these stats change, uh, I man, I can't even say. I can't even say what that looks like for a community of people if these statistics don't change. Don't literally pivot. I don't mean reduce. I mean pivot. Go the other direction. All right. She said, Candace said, I'm just giving a potential reason why so many black folks may be unpartnered. You know what? Here's the crazy thing about independent though. Self-sufficient, I like. You should be self-sufficient as an adult. Yeah, sure. You should be able to pay for you. Anywhere you go, you should be able to pay for you, man or woman. You should be able to pay for you. You need a car to get somewhere or a bus, a bike. You need something. You need a place. You need a way to get places. You need a job. You need a skill set, right? Now, hopefully you'll tap into your purpose in life and make your purpose your job, right? I love what I do. I don't even feel like work. It really doesn't feel like work because I literally have tapped into my purpose, right? You need a place to stay. You know, I think other communities, way better examples of that. You'll find 10 single black people all barely like not really killing the game at all, but all with their own apartment. And it's like, yo, why don't y'all two just be roommates for like 2 years and save some money? It's like, nah, I can't do it. I need to live by myself. And guys too, nah, I need my spare blah, blah. Other communities, man, it'd be like 5 of them in the house, saving money. And by the time they leave, because they made a plan strategically, everybody has the credit and a down payment for a home. Like this stuff is not hard. It's really not. These are principles and models. But I feel like some of us, and once again, I'm not talking about all black people because I know people who have done these things and it works. These are repeatable, replicable models, right? I think too many of us like bragging on being independent. That ain't that. It's like that's like saying I brushed my teeth this morning. You should have brushed your teeth. And that ain't impressive because you self-sufficient. You're supposed to be. And you got to look at the word independent. Independent means like alone. Like the crazy part about independent is look up the opposite. Look up the antonym to independent. You know what the opposite of independent is? It's unaccountable. When you have no accountability, you're independent. What does that mean? Why would I say that? Look up the words. One, that's because I've done this before. But think about it. An independent country. Think about like Nancy Pelosi just went to where? Where did she go? China was all pissed off. Oh, she went to Taiwan because China is like, yo, Taiwan is ours. Don't be coming over here with that American stuff, talking to Taiwan like you about to help them become independent of us. Independent means nobody can say nothing to you. You have no oversight, no accountability. So yes, yeah. We need more self-sufficiency, less independence. All independence means is nobody can say nothing. You're so independent, nobody can say nothing to you. So how do you grow when you're the highest? You are your own highest level. That don't even make sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Man, y'all, you know what, y'all caught me on the right day. This the right day. I got my Nino Brown on. Maybe that's it. I got the Nino Brown on. I got my Nino Brown on. Let's see. James said, bro, I love you so much. I love you too, man. He said, I'm proud of you for pushing the conversation on so many topics. You're the you're the best big brother friend a guy can have. Man, you about to make me cry. And y'all know I cry because I cried earlier. But I really wasn't like, it really wasn't tears for real. Like, you know, G's don't cry. We emote. G's don't cry. We emote for a minute. Dina said, speak on it. I'm trying, Dina. Edmund said, it's a lot that's missing. Yeah, bro, it's a lot that's missing. Tierra said, integrity, conversations, actions, accountability. Yeah. Integrity is huge. Man. I could have more integrity. There's like one or two little small areas of life that I just know I could be more consistent. Oh, and it's so tough. And I can't lie. It's emotional. It's like, oh, it's like picking up. It's like lifting weights. Like if I can bench 150, I should be able to bench my weight. I haven't tried, but I've gotten stronger. So I weigh 180. I could bench 180. I'm 100% sure. I can't bench 225. Some stuff emotionally is like 225. You need somebody to spot you. You might need some help. Or you either need to figure out, you recognize it, get stronger in that area. So many things we think are just, oh, I need to call this person and make it right. It's emotional. The reason you haven't is because you don't feel equipped. There's an emotional fear. Like there's nothing more painful than emotional pain. Physical pain, like you cut me, it hurts. I'm bleeding, cool. Like, but just the thought of doing certain things, like gives us an emotional, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing worse than emotional pain. I think a lot of these things related to relationships and healing and all this stuff I'm talking about, it's emotional. And women get more, training, kumbaya. Women will link up and go on vacation and heal and cry and emote and do all right. Men generally don't really function the same. Now, don't get me wrong. We do all that stuff. We do. It just looks different. I got a cousin I love to death, man. My cousin Rendy. I put it out there. My cousin Rendy. In some of the worst moments of his life, he'll call me bawling, crying. Why? Because he knows I'm safe space. He knows I'm never gonna judge him. He knows I'm here to push him, but I love him. And at his lowest moment, I got you. We don't have enough of that. We don't. And unfortunately, what a lot of people don't talk about too, and y'all know I know the stats on everything. Look up the statistics on black male suicide, teens, black male suicide. It's been rising for the last like 10 years. You don't never hear nobody talking about it. Young black men are deciding that I'm alone. I don't have any help. I don't have any tools. I don't have a dad. I don't have a system around me. I don't want to be here. I'm out. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. So deep. Tierra, I love that comment. Integrity. Somebody told me early on, integrity was like consistency across things. Like when you have integrity, it's like when nobody's around, what do? It's like the person who at church, you a certain way, but then, as soon as you leave church, you cussing people out. You just like, yeah, it's like, damn, wait, who are you? Right? Like, I thought she was nice. I thought he was cool. You know what I mean? Like it's that Tierra said pre-existing trauma, pre-existing. I'm talking too fast. Pre-existing, pre-existing. Sheesh. Trauma is real and is present in every single black family. That was the original plan. That's true. Acknowledging that which you did with empathy allowed you to connect with her father to make genuine progress. Mhm. Edmund says some of us want instant gratification. Totally agree. I find it interesting that biblically, whether you believe Jesus was the son of God or God, and whether you believe in him or not, still an amazing book. I actually got a buddy I know who's like, I don't believe that Jesus was God, but I follow his teachings because there's no character in any story I've read more amazing than Jesus. That impressed me. Now, I want him to actually have a connection and believe, but I mean, still, there's something there, right? I found that so powerful. I was like, wow, that's so honest. Um, you go to Corinthians, it start talking. It tells you, love. First evidence of love, not the definition. The evidence of love in Corinthians says love is patient. It's the first word, patient. Patient. Love is patient. Why would it say that? Why would this book filled with so many gems of natural wisdom, God's right? Why would it say love is patience first? Because everything happens in time. And because even the things we want to change about ourselves today, a lot of times we can't because we need time. And because you love that girl or that guy or whatever, and you want her to be, oh, if she would just act right, if he would just act right. But guess what? He needs time. It's gonna take time to work that pain out. So you need time. You need to give people time. And you're right. It's like there's a willingness in those moments. Patience is like how you wait. Right. If I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come pick you up, I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes, and I get there in 7, and you're flaming mad, raging. You have no patience. Patience is how you wait. It's a heart position. It's how you wait, right? So yeah, that instant gratification, man. Chris said, "Give me some serious game, bro." I'm trying, bro. I ain't even trying. No, I'm not trying. This is effortless. I'm just being more intentional. Just trying to be more intentional. Candace said other races seem to rely on and support each other, one another, and a little bit more. Yeah, they do. They do. But they also, to Tierra's point, we really, 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 I don't think we understand the traumatic effects. I really don't think we fully get. We may not get this for hundreds of years. The full effects of what happens when you get put through chattel slavery in a country, and you're literally considered someone else's property. When the bigger, stronger the buck, the more, think about a buck. I have bucks are worth, right? A couple bucks. Give me a couple bucks, like bucks. The bucks were the biggest, strongest black men who were literally forced to have sex with, because we were just cattle. Like I know it was hundreds of years ago. I get all of that. But if you really understand how psychology, pathology works, sociology, all the ologies, this stuff does not just leave in a generation. We're not that far removed from 1865. It ain't even been 200 years. There's nothing more damaging than thinking you've healed and you haven't. I think a lot of us think we've healed somehow because Barack, because we had a quote unquote black president. It's the wrong metrics. You're looking at the wrong metrics. You want to see where black folks are. You got to look at how we relate, connect, and build family. That's the metric. That's the metric of them all. That's the metric. That's what leads to more wealth. That's what leads to higher education. That's what leads to our children being better prepared across every study you'll find. Every study you'll find. The optimal way to raise a children is that child that I could be a little wrong here, but I know it's a man and a woman raising a child. I want to say it's that child's biological mother and father across every metric you can find. Google this up yourself. You'll never find something that says this couple or this type of couple or this type of thing or this blended couple is a better institution to raise a child. You won't. Nah, you won't for a reason. All right. Candace said we need each other. It's hard to achieve real success without other people. We can't do it by ourselves. Not at all. Tierra said you're doing good with the natural juice. Yeah, this is Natalie's. This is a carrot ginger. I love carrot and ginger too. It's good. It's real good. Tierra said the abuse continued beyond the plantation with the generation of how they were raised. Yeah, there was there was a book I read, man. It was actually scary. It talked about how much domestic violence happened right after slavery because black men were now not. I don't know how widespread per se this was, but I'm gonna say it and take it with a caveat because I can't say how massive it was in terms of like the permeation through the 4 million. What was it? How was it? 4 million slaves that were free. 4 million enslaved people that were free. Enslaved Africans that were free. This book just kind of talked about how it's not really documented, but how like right after emancipation, a lot of black women were being raped by black men because we were trying to like assert our dominance and almost model manhood from the perspective of how white men treated white women, which is why black men get real touchy when the word feminism comes up, because we intelligent ones know at the core a lot of that was white women having issues with white men. Black men ain't never had no real like systemic power and oppressed black women. What? No. I mean, like legally, you know what I mean? Like white men created a structure where everybody was under them. All right, so that's why a lot of the conversations when feminism comes up, it's like, what type of feminism are we talking about? What are we talking about? Right? It gets real sensitive. It gets real sensitive. Tierra said, "Would you marry outside of your race?" I'm gonna ask her that in a minute. She said the conversation you had with her dad was a new model for him. Yeah, it was. It really was. She said, "Would you marry outside of your race?" Um, I don't want to. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. Um, I just would find it really, really, really tough. Me personally, I would like if it's God 100% and my family and friends and people around me are like, bro, she's the one. Yeah, I want some love too. But here's the thing. Here's the reality of it. It's really tough for me to have this conversation with a white woman sitting here like that right. So it's the right like I need a woman who relates to my experience in some way. I don't think anybody on some level, I don't know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's tons of interracial couples that make it and that's beautiful. I cool. Me personally, as much as I know, as much as I've read, I'm incredibly conscious. So it's just like I haven't met a lot of women outside of my race that just understand what it means to be a black male. And I can't marry you if you don't understand what it means for me to be me in this country, in this world, in this time. That's tough. How you gonna relate? Everything that I'm going through, you won't even understand. All right, so that's tough for me. For me, tough for me. Let me do this real quick. Let me just read through some of the comments from the post itself, and then I'm done. My guy Eric Johnson said, "Man, this was heavy. Thanks for sharing." Angela said, emphasis on and give them support when I said the men need support, right? I love how you intentionally mentioned how you spoke to her father, gently, kind, lovingly, and directly. Many brothers may not have the confidence and experience. Wait, can y'all see this? Let me make sure y'all can see this. Oh, yeah, y'all can see it. Okay, cool. Many brothers may not have the confidence or experience, right? Confidence or experience. Tierra hearted it. Miss Neal said, very beautiful story, and I agree. Cynthia Calhoun said, absolutely, profoundly and sadly true. It takes a man to do it, just like the story. Arnitra said, what's up, Arnitra? She said, I said in my coaching, this is my nutritionist, y'all. She said, I said in my coaching life, men need other men for guidance and support. Then think about that for a second. Guidance. To guide somebody somewhere, you got to know where you're going. You have to have traveled that path already. A woman can't guide a man along the path to manhood. I love my mother to death. To death. There were certain things at her best she could not model, guide me into. She's not a man. It requires men. Women can't do it. This is why the family structure is so key. That's why it's so key. She said when they see examples and hear the words from other men, it produces change and action. And she's a nutritionist saying this. When you see the same principles working across different areas of life, that's where you find truth. So that's really how you find truth. Right? When you just flip it, you go to something totally different, and you hone in on the principle, and it still is the same result. Right? It requires men. Somebody, Kawana said, "This is so beautiful. Can you make it public to share?" Nicole said, "It requires men. Women can't do it. Simple and powerful." Leslie said, "Love this and taking that. Love this and you taking that stand, brave." Michael, he said, "You're better than me and many men. You started the work your ex should have done herself. I would have left." Now I respect that. I respect that he's being honest. I do. I know that's not the norm. What I did, I wish it could be more normal. I know a lot of men would have left because, like he said, he feels like that wasn't his responsibility. It's not his place. Which is why I just say, man, what is love? What does it mean to love someone? Does it mean you're only there if the relationship works out because you're getting what you want? Like, could you end the relationship with somebody or break up and still do something that was tough on you just out of love for them, even though you are not going to get the benefit and the wealth of I'm with you, I have what I want? Love is selfless. Love ain't about you. Love serves. It serves, man. But if you don't know this and you haven't thought about it deeply in group discussion with men and wrestle with it and gotten some scripture or principle or something and then have seen it and then have practiced it, I get it. I get it. It'll be foreign to you. That type of love will be foreign to you. Miss Thomas said, "I have nothing to add other than powerful, true example and simply beautiful." Neil Barkley said, "Man, I totally agree with this whole story, man. Man, I got the man." Rolando said, "Iron sharpens iron. One man planted the seed, another man waters the seed, and a third man reaps the reward." That's dope. But it ain't even about the men. It's about her reaping a reward. So you're right, right? You're right. I planted a seed. Her dad watered it. Her husband, I would say, reaped the reward. Her children would reap the reward. But ultimately, she healed. Her heart healed. It's about her. Mona said, "I love this. This is the support that we need, village support we need." Melinda said, "I'm sorry." That was something else. Natalie said, "I love this." Lakeisha said, "This made me speechless. Women have to identify what parts they played in the relationships which caused it to end." Oh, I could do a whole podcast on that. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'll be honest with y'all. The number one topic a lot of men in secret talk about when we talk about women that we love and honor and are trying our best to show up for is women being able to recognize that sometimes you contributed to the thing. And you saying to us, "Baby, I'm sorry." And you just account. I'm gonna ease on out, but I'm telling y'all, that's the most electric topic that men talk about in secret that we don't talk about openly on social media because women would go up. What? Hmm. But that's it. What she said, women having to being able to identify the parts they play in the relationships that ended. If you think about this, if you single, if somebody said, why that last relationship end, and the one before that, and the one before that, they gave you a questionnaire, and all of your answers are them, it's you. That's how you know it's you. That's how you know it's you. Because everything that ended was not you, but you were in everything that ended. So what did you do to contribute? Relationships don't fail because one person is perfect and the other person is flawed. They fail because we're both flawed. Now, I know that there's imbalances and this person may have cheated or done this and this, and I get it, right? But man, some humility would help a lot more men and women. It just would. I'm sorry. Let me see what my guy said. My guy Remus Woods. What up, little cousin? He said, "Right on, Woods. Good lessons." I tried, man. I tried. He said, "Men need men in fellowship." Yeah, principle of fraternal orgs. Yeah, I get it. And I ain't in a frat, but I get it. Principle. What I said earlier, I get it. Tierra said, "Do you believe our fleshly relational relationship can blur our vision with recognizing the one that God created us to be with?" Oh, sex? Come on, man. Sex is like, I wish this whiteboard was clear. Sex is like it's one of those clear whiteboards. And you just take like a green marker and go over the whole thing. And then you try to look at it again. You can see, but you can't see clearly. You can't see clearly. Nah. And we can't have conversations about sex. We really can't. I wanted to have a conversation about when everything happened a few weeks ago with abortion, not the legal side, but the personal, communal, relational side, what should men have done? Like, what can men do if we really love women, regardless of where the laws change and what states related to abortion? The only thing I think men can do is really, 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 really go there. Really go there. No woman has to like the now once again, I'm not talking about the medical, the what is that? SO, whatever that word is. Like I'm not talking about women who have issues with pregnancy, miscarriage. Like I'm not talking about those. I'm not talking about rape. I'm talking about incest, which is like less than 1%. I'm not talking about like the mind. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the majority of abortions happen because there's an unplanned pregnancy, which means there's some irresponsibility. If more men said, you know what, I'm going to make sure no woman I have sex with has to even worry about that because I'm gonna make sure I got condoms on. She got the IUD. Like I'm going to make sure that I don't even put her in a position because we don't carry the child. We're foreign to it. As much as y'all think we should have such deep levels of responsibility, it's foreign to us. I've never remotely had to think about like the idea of me being pregnant, like me having a physical proof that somebody penetrated me and my belly started growing. What? That's scary to the mug to me. And I say this all the time. Y'all don't believe me. This is how you can prove men don't get the female experience. If men could get pregnant, instantly our body count would drop probably like at least 50%, if not 80. We literally would not be having sex with as many women as we have sex with if we could get pregnant. But we don't have that reality. We don't have that burden. We don't have that inherent responsibility. Right? We don't. So once again, I was just like, man, how can I start a conversation? Because I don't want to talk about the law and all that stuff. Like, it's not about the law. It's just like, dang, right? How can men just help to women for women not to even have to think about, oh, I'm pregnant? Like that's where I was gonna go, but I mean, it's hard to have that conversation. I'd have to send out personal invites. I can't have that conversation openly. I can't. It's tough. You can't. And then it's like, am I having a conversation as a Christian? Right? Who knows what the Bible, who knows God's design for marriage, sanctity of sex is a gift for marriage, for man and wife. That's even harder. That's even harder to have, even with Christians. Anyway, Frederick said, I gotta read that last one. She said, whoever conquers your heart is a lucky woman. That's so deep to me. I don't even know what that means. That's so deep. Because I never thought about it like that. Whoever conquers my heart, I gotta let that marinate. I gotta let that marinate. I don't even know what that means. That's so deep to me. I love that. My guy Frederick Durham said exactly. That's why I created the Gentleman's Roundtable Breakfast for this reason, to help men heal through conversation between men. Great start. I love that. Love that. Conversations. Yeah, they get it going. That's why I do these. Tasha said, powerful. Thank you for sharing. Mario said, man, the doors of the church are open. This should make you shout. What else did he say? Oh, he said, I could run all over the house. Head crack. Christy Allen said, I love men. Heart. Thanks for sharing all day, Christy. Kadila? Miss Hare. That's all. I don't want to mess it up. Beautiful first name. I just don't know how to pronounce it. She said, wow, thank you for sharing this. Monica said, the care you exhibited is priceless. I seriously think you need to write a book. I know I do. I've never heard this level of intentionality and investment in the health of a friend, let alone an ex. My heart swells at the awesome example you have set. We should go to bat for another in this way. So glad for you to, so glad to know that you, so glad to know you and benefit from your experiences and transparency. Dope. Miss Harris said, man, this is phenomenal, powerful. Wow. And Mr. Wright, I kind of didn't fully get his comment, but I'm gonna read it. He said, you see, he didn't go at the mama like that. Fool know better. I guess he's talking about the dad. I don't know. Some women, I think he might mean men, don't see it till they have a son sitting around playing PlayStation at home on child support. Can't see the kid, and now you mad. Oh, can't see the kid, and now you mad. Now you know he was telling the truth when they make you put the phone in the locker. Recognize the shift. I'm finna call my daughter. All right, so that's it, y'all. That's it. I just wanted to go live to capture this moment. I love that story. I've shared it personally with friends here or there. This stuff lives forever. One of the best stories of my life. And I love telling a good story. I really do. I'm a storyteller. I'm a marketer, but at heart, I'm a storyteller. All right. I can tell a good story. I really can. Funny ones, crazy ones, wild ones, vulgar ones. I got stories for days. I really do. So I appreciate y'all for watching and for hopping on. Let me see. Samara Rice said, this takes the relationship discussion to another level. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all for joining. This was fun. Share this with somebody that you know and that you love, who needs to seriously think about how they love and the depths we'll go for love, and how selfless love is and the patience that it requires. Because Black families, statistics aren't looking good. They're really not. And I know there's a pool of us doing really well and healthy and thriving. I know. But collectively, I think it's a lot of discussions we need to start having. And I just want to be a conduit, a catalyst to start having them. Thanks for watching. This is Being Noble. I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.